Hello and welcome everybody to the cricket show Cricket Happenings with your host Ram. Today I am here to do the preview of the second semi-finals which is coming up on 16th of November on a Thursday between Australia and South Africa, and this is going to be played at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. So talking about the first and foremost, if you look at South Africa and Australia, South Africans have been very, very unlucky, I thought. If you look at their World Cup history, they have been they have lost matches, but it was not their fault at all. I know a lot of if you look at the past World Cups, I've seen that they have lost a lot of matches, and as I said, they are not at fault. If you look at the case history, as we call it, if you look at the case history, let's have a look at the case history of the South Africans, who basically are known as chokers as far as World Cups are concerned, because they come right there to the summit and then they falter. And that's what has happened. Now, if you look at it, it was way back in the World Cup in 1992. South Africa needed 22 runs of one ball. It's ridiculous, right? Because it is something because of the rain and everything. This Duckworth Lewis was the one which had this ridiculous equation of 22 runs to be scored in one ball, which is absolutely not possible. In 1999, Lance Klusner, everyone would, one run was required of the final four balls of the match. Lance Klusner, yet they could not do it. And then at Durban, in their home ground in South Africa, again the Duckworth Lewis came in, and again it was again a missed opportunity. And then the South Africans got the tag as calling them as chokers. Now, the thing is that this is an opportunity for South Africa, but this team is absolutely well-rounded. They are primed, I would say, to probably, challenge any opposition in the finals. Now, so that is a brief record of South Africa. We've been a bit unlucky, I thought. So they would be hoping that they could get a good game against Australia. They could actually, defeat Australia in the semi-finals and go. But again, Australia have always been like if you look at the history, they find until the last ball, and we saw how Glenn Maxwell did it. It's a big history in Australia. As far as World Cup, they have a good record. In fact, they have a record of 11 consecutive wins in two times they have done it, and India are close to it with the 9 wins on the trot. And as I said, if they do that, they will equal Australia's record. If India lift the cup, then it will be like they'll be equaling the Australian record of consecutive wins in a World Cup. But as far as Australia is concerned, what is as I said, they are diehards. They are diehards. They will fight until the last ball, which is good. And they play their cricket very hard. And off late, they have just peaked at the right time. I mean, they were a bit down, but they have peaked at the right time with the business end of the tournament coming in. And now they are here. They are meeting South Africa in the semi-finals. But if you look at the record, Australia went to South Africa, and South Africa came from behind and beat Australia in the ODI series 3-2. Now, and again, in the World Cup, the first game that happened, it was at Lucknow, where South Africa made 311 for 7, with Quinton de Kock making 109. So that was a centerpiece. And then when it came to Australia, they were bowled out for 177, with only Manus Labuschagne in there. And definitely, the South Africans were absolutely ascendant in Lucknow. And we saw that the ball was doing something under the lights. Now, it is going to be pretty interesting to see. Now, this is going to be played at a different surface. It is Eden Gardens in Kolkata. So Eden Gardens in Kolkata, in my opinion, has definitely, is something where we have seen. If you look at the World Cup, let's see Eden Gardens. So let's see how things have gone at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata in this World Cup. So that will give us a pretty good idea as to how things have panned out. Looking at Eden Gardens in Kolkata, which probably it started probably only in the other half. It took a bit of time to for the Eden Gardens Kolkata to get into the picture in the World Cup. So I'm trying to get on to the Eden Gardens in Kolkata and see. Let's. There was a match between Netherlands and Bangladesh, which was a very timid affair. It didn't. It was a low-scoring affair, one could call, under the circumstances. And then we had Bangladesh, Pakistan playing there, where Pakistan beat Bangladesh. After that, we had we had the match between India South Africa, where the South Africans were rolled out for 83 by the Indians. Superb bowling by Mohammad Shami. And if you look at it, uh, this Eden Gardens in Kolkata is not a ground where, yes, India hit a massive score, 326 for 5, and routed the South Africans for 83, which was a great job. But Eden Gardens in Kolkata, if you look at it, England, Pakistan, again, England. So definitely one can expect some, if the pitch is going to remain the same, one can expect some runs. But again, as I said, it is a sort of a balancing act, in my opinion, because the batsman can also make hay, and the bowlers can come under the lights and surprise the batsman with the swing and movement that is generated. So that is going to be interesting. So, but if you look at the previous match, which was played at Lucknow, where the Australians had absolutely no answer. After South Africans total 311, South Africa, bowled out the Aussies for 177 to win the match by a very big margin. In that case, it was 134 runs margin. Now, looking at this particular game, I am tempted to think. I mean, if you look at it, like we have seen in this World Cup, where the team which is batting first has put up. Yes, so your best bet is whichever team which is going to win the toss at the Eden Gardens, Kolkata. There is also a threat of rain. Let me tell you that there's a chance that there is a 50% forecast for rain as well at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. So we have to keep our fingers crossed. There's a reserve day which is set for Friday, if at all rain rains it. But again, if the rain is going to fall, then again the conditions are going to differ, because the anything which changes the atmosphere definitely affects the. There is some amount of effect. Probably the ball will start moving about right away in the first session itself. You never know. So I'm just putting that to chance. Okay. So looking at the South Africans, well, they are looking good form. So it will be interesting to see. So I'm not going to hazard a guess here by saying whichever team wins the toss, bat first and tot up a huge score and then put the opposition under pressure. So that is not something. And these are two quality teams. So we can expect a nice battle. And already, as I said, South Africa are definitely. If you look at the record, as I said, they came from behind in South Africa, hit Australia hard, again coming and winning against Australia very, very convincingly with a big margin. So that would give them ounces of confidence. So looking at the South African squad, I hope Temba Bavuma is fit and firing tomorrow. As a captain, he is needed. His captaincy would be needed, according to me. And he himself has not been amongst the runs. So it would be a good time for him to get a good start along with Quinton de Kock. I mean, Quinton de Kock has been doing all the scoring, even though if you look at the start, they probably got a 108-run start against Australia. But who has been doing the scoring? The lion's share has been done by Quinton de Kock, who is on absolute fire in this World Cup. I mean, we all know that Quinton de Kock is going to retire from ODIs. So he is making this his own World Cup. And he made 109. So he's going to be a huge threat for Australia. There's no doubt about it. And then they have some very good quality batting. Rassie van der Dussen, who is slowly getting in form. The other day he made a century as well. Aiden Markram has made the fastest, and then it was usurped by Glenn Maxwell. So Aiden Markram is looking good. Klaasen, we all know what is the what a dangerous player he is today in international cricket. And then David Miller, with all his experience. I mean, they can just trust. They can put all their trust on David Miller, even though if they get a situation like what Glenn Maxwell got against Afghanistan, David Miller is capable of getting the South Africans out of the rut. And then Marco Hansen is a tremendous all-rounder. Really, this has been a huge moment for him, and he has been very successful in the power play with the wickets as well. Well, against India, he definitely struggled. The bowling has been coming very well. Kagiso Rabada has been doing his job perfectly. Keshav Maharaj has been absolutely difficult to play. Even the Indians found it that Keshav Maharaj was not easy. So he's not someone. He's not going to give you a lot of runs. He's going not to give you a lot to play with. So they need to be absolutely guarded against Keshav Maharaj. And then Lungi Giri, well, probably he should. I think Lungi Giri should probably kick the habit of bowling too predictable. I would say slower deliveries, which the batsman can definitely suss up, and they can really give him a whack. So probably he should introduce the slower delivery as a special element, according to me. And then they have Tabraiz Shamsi, the unorthodox spinner as well, in the Kuldeep Yadav mold. So he is someone that they would be watchful. Let's have a look at what was his. Tabraiz Shamsi didn't play in that game. Definitely, yes, Tabraiz Shamsi played. I'm just going to see his bowling. Yeah, he bowled decently. And the situation was good as well, because as I said, the South Africans were really rolling along well. So it depends on the situation as to what test you are put into. Looking at the Aussie batting, okay, looking at the Aussie card. There also, if I see there's a sort of a real balanced look. David Warner is playing magnificently in his last World Cup, I reckon. Yes, it is his last World Cup. Yes, he's retiring after the T20, I suppose. And Mitchell Marsh, well, he is in some great form, no doubt about it. He's belting the ball to all parts of the field. And, but there will be one difference that you'll be noticing from the previous match is that Mitchell Marsh he will be coming one drop. So that is giving more leverage for Australia. And where Travis Head is already back into business. Now, when we talk about Travis Head, I need to talk about one battle. In the previous match, one thing that you have to note, it will be very interesting to see, because there is I won't be surprised, but I'm trying to see whether that will happen. Gerald Coetzee, the South African fast bowler, who has been pretty consistent and playing in his first World Cup, whether he's someone who's the one who actually sent Travis Head to hospital with a fracture. So there'll be a psychological it will be a sort of a psychological hold for South Africa, because he didn't play in the last match, and we also know there was no Travis Head. But with Travis Head coming and getting stuck in the Australian team now, even though he has failed for 3 matches, I don't think it would be a bad idea, probably for Gerald Coetzee to probably, now the question will be, who would be replacing? So that is going to be the question. So Gerald Coetzee, if he comes, I think that psychological hold can be there. Travis said it will always be in the back of his mind that he was hit by a ball and he had a fracture, and he had to, and also Travis said, has already openly said that it has acted as a blessing in disguise, where he got some rest and now he's absolutely refreshed. So if at all Gerald Coetzee will be bowling to Travis Head, if Travis Head probably survives in the opening burst, and then Gerald Coetzee bowls, that will be a good matchup according to me. So really, if both are playing, then I'm definitely looking forward to seeing such a nice feisty battle between both, and see whether what wins, whether the bat wins or the ball wins. It will be interesting. And then, as I said, David Warner is looking in good nick, and it offers more leverage as well. Stephen Smith, yes, he probably, there is a long innings overdue from him. Marnus Labuschagne has always been the rock for Australia. I mean, as I said in the World Cup, when he was a last-minute inclusion, so once he got into the team, I definitely made a statement that he is the glue around this. The whole Australian team revolves, because Marnus Labuschagne is the one who is the stabilizer, and you need a stabilizer in ODI cricket. and Manos Labuschagne is that. And he has been doing it absolutely wonderfully well. And also his fielding has been a great plus. Josh Inglis, well, he is someone who has not really had a good knock. So that he would be raring to go with a good knock in the World Cup. And then Glenn Maxwell, he's coming on the heels of of a double century in the World Cup, which is massive, and it has been hailed as the one of the best in ODI innings in the World Cup. And so definitely the South Africans, I'm sure he would be the huge threat. He would be an extremely huge threat, according to me. And then they have the all-rounder Marcus Stoinis, and then the bowlers Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins, Zampa, and also all who could probably just bat a bit. But looking at the Aussie bowling, Mitchell Stark, well, he has been doing. I mean, I thought he could have done much better. Josh Hazelwood, on the previous match, it was very surprising that his 9 overs cost him 60 runs with a wicket. So I'm sure Hazelwood has definitely been much better after that particular match in the World Cup. He has seen to it that he's hitting the right line and length. And then the bowling. Now, Glenn Maxwell has been doing a tremendous job. I mean, he has become a frontline spinner for them. So that is a big luxury for Australia, I reckon. Pat Cummins, as a captain, and he has been doing his job, but a bit costly, on the costly side. Adam Zampa has been, yes, in the match against South Africa, in the previous match, he leaked 70 runs. So he would like to get it. And as I said, these were the initial stages. Later on, Adam Zampa, we have seen, he has gone through a real run of wickets. So definitely, I'm expecting Adam Zampa to really bowl well here. And then they also have the service of Mitchell Marsh and Marcus Stoinis to come through as well. So all in all, we are looking out for a nice battle here at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. Hopefully, the rain gods stay away tomorrow in Kolkata, and should be a good semi-final. But one thing I can say here, from my take of it, will be looking at the South African record with Australia and the way they came back from behind in South Africa to beat Australia, which was a very, very interesting ODI series, I thought. So in that context, I would probably say that the South Africans are having a slight edge over Australia. But Australia are not far behind, again, as I said. But I said it is just that bit of a very tiny edge that South Africa have over Australia. So on a particular day, anything can happen in cricket, right? So, well, dear fans and subscribers, I hope you all enjoyed this broadcast, and that was the end of my preview. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow. So tomorrow is a D-Day. We are into the business end of the World Cup, the semi-finals. India taking on New Zealand, Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. It is going to be chock-a-block because, as I told you, I'm a person who has been born and brought up in Mumbai, and I know how cricket crazy Mumbai is. And we are going to see that tomorrow. I'm sure not a seat can be filled up in that stadium. I'm 100% sure about it. And it's a World Cup. So definitely looking out for a really, really mouth-watering battle. Again, the question comes here whether India, on their home turf, so tomorrow we will know, once this match is over, as to who has the foot on the pedal, who has the foot in the final. Well, dear fans and subscribers, with this being said, it's your host Ram signing off. Thank you.